So in this archonic system, men that don't have any money in this society are considered worthless by most women alive today. There are environmental influences, there is propaganda, there is indoctrination, and there is genetics. Their very bodies have been designed in a certain way that have allowed this archonic hack. As David Icke puts it in The Perception Deception, there's different ways of putting the hack in this matrix that taps into our reptilian mind, that keeps us in the primal levels, locked out of the higher frequencies, but stuck in the lower frequencies, with everything based on survival. And how do we get more? How do we feast more on this bloody husk that lies before us? And that's where people are today. What can I get from this person? How can I make this person worship me, worship my beauty, worship my looks? How can I be a princess? And this quest to be a princess goes on and on and on. And the archons play on that. And there are men that will play along with this nonsense. Their dick's so hard, they want to come real bad. They see a woman, their body's programmed. Our bodies, as men, have been programmed to want the most carnal things that any human can possibly imagine, even beyond what some humans can imagine. There's no sky that can provide any limit to the thirst of mankind and womankind's lust. It's been built into us. It's been programmed into us. But there's things there that aren't quite right when people think that it's all love and light and it's all about liberation, liberating one's senses, liberating one's energies. There's oblivion. There's the trap of oblivion to the senses within this matrix. Many don't see it. They may claim to see it on a verbal level, but in terms of their ability to see society's enslavement to their carnal nature, women being enslaved to their own bodies, constantly chasing the bad men in this society. Why? Because I believe their bodies were wired this way. There is only a minority of men or women that are choosing to read life outside the code. There's a very small minority of men and women that are looking outside the box of life, of the mass way of thinking. And that's in every single category. And that includes sexually. Most of you are probably, most likely, in the category of those that think outside the box. Some of you are in the category, in the box. And that's not to judge you. And there's shades of gray from in the box to outside the box. Let's not take this too literally. But there is a whole, and I'm not limiting it to this generation at all, but there's a whole generation of women out there that hate men. And unless you have something to offer them that's big, you might as well be dead, motherfucker. Fuck you. You and your men, all fucking men, everything you fucking... You could be a good man that's been against the New World Order, that's been against these things. It doesn't matter. You're still trash. You're still trash. You're still garbage. There is denial on the part of women on this planet. There's a lack of love out there, and it's created an energetic cesspool. There's something very foul right now and out of balance on the earth that relates to this shit. And when you have things that are long-term systemic problems, you have social breakdown. You have the social ills. And we can go ahead and list them off, but why bother? You have more of that, not less of that. And it gets even crazier. The only thing that reverses that is love. Things like love, understanding, empathy. What goes around comes around. We understand how energy works. Things of that nature. Those things help us evolve. And the other things assist in our devolution. The greed, the lies, the using, the manipulation, the selling of our bodies, the vanity, the worshiping of ourselves. Especially the lower selves. See, a lot of people out here obsessed with their vanity, their bodies, playing up an image of a goddess. Oh, look at me. Oh, look at my legs. Oh, look at my hair. I'm so beautiful. But don't you look at me, you evil, evil man. Oh, no, I'm a beautiful, beautiful woman. I'm a goddess. Don't you see? Don't you see? I'm a goddess from another place and time. And all you people around me are evil. You are lower than me. Lower. I think there's a lot of reincarnated princesses and kings and princess and princes and queens and other fallen forms of royalty. It's like there's something in the consciousness. Maybe when the gods made us like them, they made us with not just physical, with a fucking God complex, worship me complex, goddess complex. Yes. Yes. I don't know what kind of, effects are showing on screen right now, if there's any lightning bolts going in and out of my head. The women today have a goddess complex, that they are to be worshipped, that they are reincarnated versions of old deities, from Queen Sheba to this and that. Ooh, worship at the feet. Oh yeah, worship the woman with the cobra or ornamental thing fastened to her head. Worship thy ruler. Worship thy rulers, archons. Kiss the feet. Kiss the hands. Kiss the butt. I'd do anything to fuck that. Oh yeah. Oh master. Oh master. Oh great goddess warrior chiefess. Please lead us. Oh. And you see this propaganda, this anti-man propaganda that is getting worse and worse and worse in our society. And then you look on the news and see women Alex talks about these things and the New World Order being oppressive to women. He's so negative. And then boom, out comes the news. 1 in 5 women statistically are raped while they're in college. And there's a pretty large amount of people in the society that are going, wait a minute. You look at crime statistics, there was a lot more shit going on in the late 80s and early 90s than today along those lines. Their own statistics that they're giving are not in line with the facts. Plus government as an institution is the greatest oppressor of women worldwide. But yet they have so much female support because women want that structure. They want a sense of structure. The government can provide that structure like a mafia. We'll let you call 911. You can ask for our help. We care about you. You're our daughters. You're our daughters. Watch that ass. But there may become a time that where we need something from you. Or maybe where we need you yourself. Shaking that ass. Watch yourself. Show me what you're working with. So we will give you a cell phone. We will incorporate you into the grid. And we will give you the jobs that used to be in the hands of men. It will be seen as equality. But we are really helping you carve out your own turf. Okay, that's a really bad impersonation of Marlon Brandon. Let me just say this. Only a very heartless person would not see what I'm saying there. The men have been replaced for a long time in a lot of jobs. Pretty asses, pretty hair, pretty looks. That's something that's sold. That's something that's prostituted moment to moment. And we, the men of the world, are being replaced by not only this machine, but passed up constantly for jobs when the male manager would rather see something. It's natural then. It's a part of this natural world, this world of evil that worships vanity, that worship idols, that worships fake copies of goddesses and gods. So you look at models today and bodybuilders and this worship of the body. You'll also notice when a lot of people get older and they were traditionally worshipped for their body or for their looks or for their strength, you'll notice subtle themes of depression come in when they lose those parts of themselves that are no longer seen as number one. You know, they change a little bit, and it isn't until they develop some spiritual backbone and identify with the soul inside their body that they start to heal. So I know people suffering. People that used to play the role of the tough guy. Women that used to be really, really beautiful and have men just fawning all over them. And now they're living a life where they're older and they're in their 50s and they're in their 60s. And they don't have people fawning all over them and their sexuality anymore. Just willing to do everything just to be able to touch that breast. Oh, the nipple. Or they're no longer at that point in their life where they can drop 20 people in 5 seconds and be Mr. Bruce Lee. Oh, I'm so dangerous. Oh, I'm so powerful. Oh, I don't have that ability anymore. Oh, I just think that really, life's changing. Yeah, you have to fucking connect with your soul, don't you? You can't just rely on your looks anymore and your physical prowess. Oh, heaven forbid, you need to find out if you fucking have a soul. And if your soul is even savable after all the shit you've done to people. Oh, the questions, they keep popping up out of nowhere once you start looking into the labyrinth of your own soul. There's no end to the mysteries. We are in a hell domain. The archons are talked about in the Nag Hammadi text. The Nag Hammadi text alludes to realities like this, as well as the Hare Krishna material, the reincarnation, whole web of reincarnation may be a part of this simulated archon-controlled reality. And overall, we're trying to get out of the whole reality and into the true reality, where we actually come from, to remember who we actually are. And so, in this hell-like realm, and there's different hell realms. This is only one hell realm, but this is not a heavenly realm. This is not a heavenly realm. This is a hell realm of multiple hell realms. It's not the worst, and I'm not convinced it's the best. I guess it depends what color you are in this world of evil, what age it is, whether you're a man or a woman, whether you're good-looking or not. This world is run by vanity and so many other things, so many evils. Flesh is worshipped as well as consumed in this realm by so many, and it is confused for spirituality, where spirituality is confused for those that are well-adjusted and happy, living a life, literally running over the fallen rats in front of them. Women on this planet prostitute themselves, the vast majority. And it's considered to be, and I'm not trying to be insulting to anyone that is a prostitute. In a way, one could argue that there is a sense of healing that comes from sexual contact. And I'm not going to get deep into playing a game of judgment, but prostitution is the oldest. It is the oldest occupation, and I don't mean officially like, hey, wham, bam, thank you, ma'am. Okay, that'll be so-and-so slices of bread. Or loaves of bread, rather. Well, hopefully it's not going to get that bad. But people prostitute themselves every day. Women prostitute themselves every day. They line themselves up with relationships. They line themselves up with marriages. And it's all a matter of how much money he has, how much he can contribute, how much he can pay for, how much they can get out of him. And it gets fairly deep. Men can't do that. We have certain expectations of us. But the world is now getting really out of balance because those that control this archonic system have put in certain programs to eliminate men, to eliminate even the perception that we have any place in this world, that we are the ones that are the problem. That maybe if we were just gone, especially those of us that didn't have any money and weren't seen as being valuable to these women, well, it's like we're being marked spiritually for removal from the planet to make way for the androgynous, transhumanistic, feminine men that don't seem to have the same emotions that the traditional earth males had, and sense of morality, sense of just maternalism, family, to love a woman, to love your child, to want to have a child, to have a child, to bring a child into this world, to have that right to have a child. We still have a right to have a child, technically, but energetically, not at all. Some of us don't even have a right to have a home, let alone have a right to have a child, let alone, I know some women are going to be offended by this, have a right to have a wife or have a right to have a girlfriend. In a world where we are so hated right now and being played up as the scapegoat for all these problems, when the women that are alive today, by and far, hate good men. I am hated. I am feared. I am resented. I have been sentenced to doing time here on earth. And it doesn't matter how many people watch these videos. I am the unlovable. I am an unlovable human being. I am an unlovable human being. And there's no affection for me right now on this planet. I am hated. I am scorned. I am doing this video outside of a U.S. bank parking lot. This city is so satanic. All these women that look so sad, all these pentagrams, all this dyed hair, all this chasing about for money and pussy. There is this obsession with chasing the naked female torso in this city. The consciousness is strong. It's in the women. They are seeking the naked woman. They are seeking the ultimate oral sex adventure, to receive or to give. They are seeking the ultimate carnal experience, and they see no value in good men on this planet. They see no value in those things. They see no value in men raising the alarm or speaking the truth about 9/11. They see no value in those things. It's only fashion, shoes, looking straight ahead, and smartphones, these fucking demonic mind control cell phones. They are multiplying. The cell phones are having babies. The humans are having babies. The cell phones are becoming self-aware. They're having babies, and they're literally falling from the sky. There's more cell phones out there than good meals. Afghanistan, the country of my father's birth, spoken of hardly ever, I would think, as far as I understand, by the women of this earth. The white woman hates the Afghan male. It's in her blood. It is in her blood. It is in her genetics. I want you to show me a white woman with an Afghan male. I want you to go somewhere and I want you to show me what that looks like. It doesn't happen. My parents were divorced when I was fucking born. A spiritual force greater than themselves. I was going to say probably brought them together so I can have life. Does that make me sound egotistical? Does that sound egotistical of me for me to say that I see enough value in myself that my parents maybe were brought together to bring me into this world? But once I met a half Pakistani girl, half white girl. And another experience, I met a half Afghani, half white guy. Their parents divorced as soon as they don't stay together. White women and Afghan men, and I have the Afghan blood, they do not mix. White women do not like men from that country. White women do not speak about the things that happen to women in other countries. If you are a white woman and you speak about those things, or you're attracted to people from that land, you are the minority. And the reason why a lot of women out there in this world don't hear the critical, constructive criticism is because they have fallen into gangbanger mentality. If you speak of the programming of one woman, you speak of the programming of all women. Well, let's take a look at men. Are all men super soldier wannabes? They're ready to go die in the military-industrial complex? No. Are the majority of the world's men going in that direction? I would say that the majority of the world's men are just as self-absorbed as the women. But you will find more men than women that are involved in putting out information as to what's going on. You will find more male speakers than female speakers in the alternative media talking about some of these issues. You will not find more women than men speaking about these things, and that includes issues like human trafficking, issues that directly impact the lives of women. You will find more women speaking out against some of those things in the East or in India or in some of these other countries, or women from other countries that have come to the United States that are activists here. You won't find a great deal of white women that talk about the plight of women from other countries, because they believe, and this is back to the princess paradigm, that their lives have been so shattered. Oh, their lives have been so hard. Oh, that they have no empathy for the lives and experiences of other women that are in real, true gang rape danger zones. They actually seem to fear that if they were to show a certain amount of emotion, etc., and other things for these other people, that they themselves would be hurt or vulnerable or something. Fill in the blank. They themselves will feel greater pain about the world if they were to even know what was happening across the sea. People will tell me, Alex, people don't like you because you're an intense person. It's the things you talk about. They're afraid of this. They're afraid of that. Well, as far as the intense comment, I want you to go to the internet. Maybe you're already on the internet. I want you to type in something, quote, death metal, end quote. Then type in groupies. Then type in fans. You'll find a lot of hot chicks. Now, death metal is one of the most unlistenable forms of so-called music that exist. It's up there with gangster hip-hop. You know, you don't tell me that I'm an intense individual, and that's why people don't like me, when, in fact, there's lots of good things about me. And you look over there, and you see hardcore gangster rap. They're talking about bitches and hoes, and slapping them on that ass, but the women like that. They like that slap in the ass. I don't actually act like that. With the death metal, you know, women walk around wearing collars, you know, all ready for the rough sex at night. All ready for the fucking wild hang from the fucking swing like a fucking monkey. They're ready for that. Ooh, oh, but I'm the bad person. Oh, it's me that's evil. It's me that other human beings want to tell is evil. My passion, my emotions, the things I believe in. I'm told by this world, the evil in this world, every single day by those that the evil channels through. The average woman that has been tapped into the cell phone matrix, constantly touching that screen, constantly having radio waves, other forms of waves, cell phone towers going straight through her brain as if it was designed, as if these technologies were built to hijack their consciousness and turn them away from any sense of goodness. Whether they be a mother that throws her own son away in the garbage can because she is blind to see his value. Blind. Or whether it be the average woman in the society walking by good people in their community, chasing evil, chasing the fucking devil. There is no other man on the West Coast of the United States, period, that thinks that China's going to invade this country at some point and they're going to take people. You will find the first part of that with some concerns about China. You will not find people that are concerned about future generations being hurt once America's defense breaches come down and it's open season on this country. The very fact that I just say it like that puts me into a freak category to most people. To most people, hear that stuff and they tune out completely. And I lose complete credibility with them. So I've expressed my pain. I've expressed my emotions. And I feel like I haven't smoked for a couple days, so my nose and mouth is wheezing. Because of the emotions that I have. It scares away most women. They don't know what to make out of it. I also think that because I'm so powerful, that the forces of evil attack any women that come close to me. These would be their archonic forces. And they get inside their minds and they implant things, horrible dreams. And they are experts at turning family against you forever and ever and ever and ever, and reinforcing spiritual hierarchy. I'm more spiritual than you. Where does that live? In the spirit realm. That only lives in the realm of the archons. So that is the realm in which a lot of these things are taking place, and so much more. As I pause here, I see another car, another hybrid vehicle in front of me, and it's driven by a young woman, blonde. We, the men of this world, the lower income men, we are being replaced. There is no need for us to be on the planet according to society and the dark forces. They want the women for their hybrid experiments and more. They don't need men, especially men that have shamanistic leanings, and those that want to encourage mankind to seek a direct connection with the Almighty so we can see these things for ourselves and not have to resort to these books, so we can start to see these things for ourselves. We are being replaced. These hybrid vehicle driving, this new generation of heartless humans is replacing us. We are being removed from the planet incrementally, generation by generation. The transhumanistic agenda is happening at full force. The next couple of decades, we're going to see major transformation and changes within our society. We're seeing the death of the family unit. We're seeing how family is seen as something that you just can't afford. You just need to race and be all for yourself and your apartment and your life and your happiness and your goals and your dreams and your vanity and your princess complexes. And all this is leading us straight into, it's taken us to a lower state of consciousness, not a higher state of consciousness. This is one of several hell realms. We're here for a reason. I was sentenced here. I did something profoundly wrong to end up here. I'm being punished. This is a punishment. This is a hell realm. I'm trying to get out of this realm. Suicide's not an option. I believe if we kill ourselves, we'll end up at some sort of beginning. I've worked really hard to get to this point. A lot of things have transformed within this life. I don't want to fall down into a lower hell realm. A lot of these humans act like they're going to be falling back into some sort of a hell realm. And they can go ahead and do that. They can go ahead and fall back into a lower form of hell. I somehow am in the experience of feeling isolated, that I have no value whatsoever to this community, or any community for that matter. Because somehow I need to override, I have to override those strong feelings of alienation from you in society. And it's so painful. There's so many things I want to share with society. I can only do so much from a truck. I can only do so much from the back of a truck. And that was the radio there. I'm going to take a break and it's easy to point your finger, if that's your persuasion, and say, Alex just creates his own reality. Oh yeah, Alex just created all this. I'm speaking of all this after years of experience, not speaking of all this and then watching it happen. And I'm told, don't speak of this. I am speaking of this. And in future videos, I will speak of this even more. What is a conscious man? What is a conscious woman versus the unconscious man and unconscious woman? How do we create the world that we want to live in? Or another way one could say it is, how do we earn the right to live in a higher state of consciousness? A world where there is more consciousness being experienced by the people, or something to that effect, where we see more beauty, where we see more love, where we see less hatred, where we see less wars, where we see less imprisonment, where we see more signs of romance? What does that world look like? And what might we need to do to earn our way through the gates of heaven, so they say? And this metaphor for the gates means so many other things as well, including getting outside the archon simulated reality. It's crossing through the gates. And in a future video, maybe we'll get into some of that, because that is something that I'm reading about as of lately. These gates that the archons guard to keep us in this reality when we pass this body and we go from lifetime to lifetime in this reincarnation wheel that they seem to have some sort of hand in, potentially. It's very, very deep. Anyway, that's all for now. Thank you for watching this longer than normal video. I'm happy to have my ability to upload longer than 15 minutes. And we'll talk to you next time.